All right, so you guys sent us some really interesting stuff this time. Looks like excerpts from a book all about this young woman, Nora Grey, and some seriously strange things that happened to her.
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, we're going to really try to unpack the relationships and the mysterious circumstances surrounding Nora, sticking strictly to the details you've shared with us, of course.
Yep, and we've got what looks like a bunch of excerpts giving us glimpses into Nora's world.
Right.
So I think a couple of really big questions emerge right away. Who is Patch Cipriano, and what is his connection to Nora and all the weird events that she keeps finding herself in?
Right. And what about this shadowy figure in a ski mask?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that and what do they want with Nora or people close to her?
Right.
It's
Yeah, that's definitely.
yeah, it's making us nervous just thinking about it.
Yeah, it is.
And then there are some other key players that we need to keep an eye on as we go through this stuff. There's Nora's best friend V, right?
Right.
And then this classmate named Elliot, and then this new school psychologist Miss Green, who also goes by Dobria.
Yes.
Okay, so that already feels a little bit layered,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Layered's a good word for it.
Yeah, okay, so let's jump right into Nora's first encounter with Patch.
Yeah, their first encounter in class.
Right.
It's so fascinating because you can immediately tell the Patch is not just a normal classmate,
Right.
right? He guesses her taste in music, Baroque, and specifically cello,
Yeah.
right out of nowhere, and then proceeds to ask her all these super personal questions, like about her birthmark and if it looks like a scar,
Oh, wow.
if she's suicidal, her parents, even her father's murder.
Like just throwing it all out there.
Or throws it all out there, and clearly just to unnerve her.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there.
Yep.
He deliberately seems to waste their work time that they're supposed to be doing together and just keeps grilling her.
Yep.
And then in a really cryptic move, he takes her hand and scribbles a 7-digit number on her palm. You're like, what is that about?
I know.
It's just like
So strange.
weird.
Right. So Nora's immediate reaction is distrust.
Yeah,
Total distrust.
understandably.
And even V, her more easygoing friend,
Right.
V even clocks him as creepy,
Mm-hmm.
but with a dark side.
Yeah.
V's words, not mine.
Right, right.
So not exactly a glowing first impression.
No, not at all. And then to make it even weirder, Patch's behavior just kind of escalates
Right.
to something that's both flirtatious and provocative.
Yeah.
He makes all these comments about her eyes and her mouth. And then there's the antagonistic pool game, right?
Right.
Uh,
And then he even untangles this piece of paper from her hair.
yes.
Yeah, it's
And then
cute.
the birthmark on his wrist.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Yeah. In almost the same spot as Nora's scar.
Yeah. What do you make of that? Coincidence.
Well, it could be a tactic
Right.
to try and like create this connection.
Oh, so it's intentional. You're saying it's intentional.
I mean, it could be, right?
Right.
Like how weird is that he has a birthmark
Right.
in basically the same spot as her scar.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then after these first couple of encounters with Patch, Nora starts to get this feeling of being watched,
Yeah.
which she says started after her father's death.
Right.
But it's getting worse, it seems.
Yeah.
And she's talking about this phantom presence.
Yeah, and it's not even just a feeling. She sees this shadowy figure in her room.
Oh no, that's so creepy.
Yeah, and there's no explanation for it.
Right.
It's not a cloud or, trash blowing or whatever.
Right.
But the feeling she gets with it is like, ice on her skin.
Oh wow.
So, that definitely suggests something more than just her imagination.
Right. Okay, so then we're in biology class, and they're talking about mating units.
Yeah.
Which takes kind of a weird turn, I think.
Yeah.
Patch describes humans as intelligent, attractive, and vulnerable. And then V gives her more, let's just say, materialistic list of desirable traits.
Yeah.
And then Patch singles Nora out.
Yeah.
He brings discussion.
Right, like his knee is touching hers.
Oh, wow.
It makes her super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then there's that moment where he kind of softly snorts
Right.
when they're talking about how complex human attraction is.
Right.
Like he knows something they don't.
Yeah. He's like, I know more than you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Coach McConaughey pairs Nora and Patch together
Oh, yes.
in the new seating chart.
Yes, the seating chart.
What a surprise.
Oh, so convenient.
Nora is not thrilled.
Yeah,
Of course.
understandably.
But Coach Mashin justifies it by saying that Patch has been participating more in class since sitting next to her.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you make of that?
I mean, is that really the truth?
Right.
Is he just trying to, like, get them together?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like I said, Coach McConaughey is stroke of genius.
Right, exactly.
Cool. Okay, and then Coach doubles down
Oh, yeah.
and insists that Nora tutor Patch.
Of course he does.
So it's like they're being forced together, don't you think?
I think so.
It's like this recurring theme.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and then all of this is happening while Nora is feeling increasingly paranoid.
Yeah.
She has this really creepy experience where someone's lurking outside of her bedroom window one night.
Oh, yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, and then to make matters worse, she and V decide to watch this stalker movie
Oh, no.
called The Sacrifice.
Of course they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And V's really disturbed by the movie.
Yeah.
She has a really strong reaction to the violence.
Yeah.
But for Nora, it must be hitting a little bit closer to home.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so then a little later on, she finds Patch at the public library.
The library.
Which,
of all places.
yeah, of all
Like, what is he doing at the library? I know. Like, would you expect to see him in the library?
I know, that seems like the last place.
I know.
Like, the odds of that are just...
Right. So
Yeah.
V naturally jumps to the conclusion that Patch is stalking Nora.
Right.
And she wants to break into the school to check Patch's student file.
Okay.
You know, see if there are any red flags,
Yeah.
restraining orders, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And Nora's not into it.
Yeah, she wants no part of that.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Breaking and entering is...
Not advisable.
No.
Right.
No, not at all.
All right. So on the drive home.
Yeah.
They're in V's car, right? And it's really foggy.
Uh-huh.
Nora can't shake this this thought that Patch is both alluring and creepy.
Right. So it's that push and pull.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
So then V hatches this plan to get some answers about Patch.
Right.
She comes up with this plan to stage a bomb threat
A bomb threat.
at the school
Wow.
to create a diversion so that they can sneak into the office and access student records.
Yeah.
So
Pretty extreme.
a little extreme, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And then so they go to break into the records room
Uh-huh.
and the door is unlocked.
Oh, it's just unlocked.
I know.
No.
And then so Nora spots a file that's labeled Cipriano
Uh-huh.
and starts to look at it.
Yep.
But then the principal catches her.
Oh, no.
And she makes up this excuse that she was looking for the nurse's office
Okay.
and that she needed to register her iron pills.
Right.
So
Not very believable.
it's not very believable.
Yeah.
Right. And then later on, Nora ends up at this restaurant called The Borderline
The borderline.
with a V,
Yeah.
only to discover that Patch is working there as a busboy.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, and he was the one who had mentioned it previously.
Oh, so he'd mentioned that place.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I work at The Borderline.
Right.
And then she just happens to show up there. So he makes these teasing comments about her seemingly seeking him out.
Yeah.
Like, I knew you'd be here.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then his behavior gets even bolder.
Oh, no.
He twirls her glass. He asks her out for Sunday. He
Right.
calls her angel.
Mm-hmm.
And he even touches her lips.
Oh,
So-
that's bold.
Yeah, and Nora's having an internal struggle.
Yeah.
She's attracted to him.
Yeah, I can see that.
But,
She's also getting increasingly apprehensive.
right, rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The-
So then we have Elliot at the foosball table,
Right.
and he's giving Nora a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah.
And V tries to help,
Okay.
but she does so in this misguided way by exaggerating Nora's popularity, which
Right.
probably just makes things more complicated.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And it seems like all Nora wants to do is forget that Patch even exists.
Yeah, just erase them.
Yeah.
Right.
But then Nora goes to the amusement park alone, and that feeling of being watched is back.
It's back.
And then she sees this hooded figure
Oh, no.
disappearing in the darkness.
This is bad.
I know.
Yeah.
Then she runs into Patch
Oh, of course.
at the park
Right.
again.
Yeah.
And they have this exchange at the lemonade cart.
Mm-hmm.
And Patch is, his usual self,
Right.
teasing her a little unsettling.
Mhm.
Then he offers her a drink because she doesn't look so good.
This
So-
is confusing.
Oh no, it's like, what's going on?
What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay, so then he comments on her not wearing makeup
Okay.
and tells her, sweet dreams tonight. And then he slips this party invitation into her pocket
Okay.
and tells her to come alone.
Alone. So,
So good.
yeah. And Nora's reaction is,
Tone?
she blushes.
Okay. I mean, I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has this internal warning about getting too close to the fire.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Then we're back with V, and there's the inevitable discussion about Nora and Patch.
of course.
And V makes a lot of assumptions about what happened between them. And Nora's tired.
Yeah.
She tries to avoid the conversation.
Okay.
But V's persistent. Right.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Then Patch changes the meeting time for their shopping trip
Okay.
earlier.
Why?
And he says it's because of a family issue.
Oh.
His mother had a nervous breakdown over his bad grades.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
a little convenient, don't you think?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And Nora's conflicted again.
Yeah.
Because she can't stop thinking about his unprincipled grin and his glittering black eyes.
Oh.
And she's up all night.
Yeah.
And she makes this analogy about falling for Patch being like licking a shattered glass shard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So then the next morning, Nora finds her cell phone fully charged.
The cell phone that was dead?
It was dead.
Wow.
Which is just creepy.
Super creepy, yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Yeah?
And then they're shopping at Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
It's raining,
Uh-huh.
and there's a boom of thunder.
Mm-hmm.
And V has this really strong reaction to the measuring tape.
Okay.
Like, she hates it.
Right.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Wow.
And then V gets attacked
Oh, no.
by a man in a ski mask
Oh, wow.
outside of Victoria's Secret.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she describes the attacker,
Yeah.
and she says he had dark eyes, charcoal eyes.
Okay.
And this description immediately reminds Nora of the person that she thought she hit with V's neon.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
I
that,
know. Yeah, that was weird.
right, it's really strange because
Yeah.
there was no damage to the car after that supposed accident.
Right. So was it even real?
Exactly.
So
So Nora's like, did that even happen? Am I crazy?
yeah, is someone messing with her? I know. So it's like, what are the attacker's motives?
Right.
Did they want something from Nora? Were they connected to the girl inside of the store? How did they know that she would be at the store?
Right.
So that last question leads Nora to ask V who they told about the shopping trip.
Right.
And V says, well, I told my mom and I might have told Elliot.
Oh.
So there's another name to add to the list of potential suspects.
Yeah.
So then V, she starts to think that the attacker wanted something from Nora
Right.
and mistook V for Nora because she was wearing Nora's jacket.
Okay.
But then she has this other thought, which is that the attacker had Patch's build, but not his eye color.
Right. So Patch's eyes are black,
Black.
but the attacker had charcoal eyes.
Right.
So a little bit different.
It is different.
Yeah.
So now there's doubt about whether Patch was involved.
Yeah.
And then Nora has this really unsettling realization, which is that she also told Patch about going to the pier
Oh, she did?
to go shopping.
Oh, no.
So both Elliot and Patch knew that she was going to be there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is it Elliot or is it Patch? Or someone else?
Or is it someone else? Yeah, I don't know.
That's scary.
It is. So then Nora asks V if the attacker looked like Elliot,
Uh-huh.
and V says no, because they're different heights and weights.
Right.
And then Nora blames herself for V wearing her jacket.
Oh, yeah?
You know,
Right.
she feels responsible.
Of course, yeah.
But then V's own suspicions about Patch are starting to grow.
Yeah.
And she's really lamenting that empty file that they found. So
Yeah.
driven by this suspicion and this lack of information,
Right.
Nora takes matters into her own hands.
Yeah.
She puts on a wig
Uh-huh.
and heads over to the borderline.
To see Patch?
Yeah, to do a little
Okay,
investigating.
freaky.
I know.
Okay.
So her line of questioning with the bartender is pretty direct.
Oh, yeah. What does she ask?
Restraining orders, felonies, girlfriends, his work schedule.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and the bartender just laughs when she asks about felonies.
Okay, so that's a good sign.
It's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like Patch has any felonies.
Right.
But then she learns that Patch is working, even though it's his day off.
Hmm.
He's covering for someone who had appendicitis.
Okay, so he has an alibi.
Sure, he has an alibi.
At least for part of the day.
Yeah, so that kind of throws a wrench in her theory that he was the attacker.
Yeah.
And then she realizes that Patch is at the restaurant
Oh, no.
at the same time that she's there.
While she's trying to investigate him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
So then she ends up hiding in the ladies' room,
Oh, no.
and she's thinking about everything that she's done, and she's still having trouble believing that Patch could be the ski mask guy.
Yeah.
But then Patch appears in the mirror.
Oh, no.
I know, and he knows she's been following him.
Yeah.
And her excuse about taking V out is,
Not great.
pretty weak, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then Patch sees her wig.
Oh, no.
So
Must...
pretty much.
Yeah.
So they have this back and forth,
Right.
and Nora asks about why he wasn't at school. He says he was playing paintball.
All right.
And then she drops the list of questions that she was going to ask.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
struggle over it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Patch reads the questions. And he's amused by the ones about restraining orders and felonies and girlfriends.
Yeah.
And he admits he has neither.
Okay.
But then he's really evasive when she asks him about a girlfriend.
Okay.
He mentions an ex-girlfriend, but he's really vague.
Mhm.
He says she's gone and never coming back.
That's ominous.
It is ominous. That's what happened to his ex-girlfriend.
No, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then right before he leaves, he makes this comment about her skirt and her legs.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to keep her on her toes.
Yeah.
Right?
So creepy.
And then there's this older woman in the bathroom, and she says that Patch is slippery as soap.
Yeah. He is slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what he's really thinking.
You really don't.
Okay, so then she goes back to the booth with V and Elliot.
Yeah. And Elliot mentions that he ordered Nora a burrito,
Oh.
even though she didn't ask him to. And then she misses her chance to tell V about the bathroom encounter with Patch.
Right.
So later on, Nora mentions to her mother that she's been hanging out with a guy.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But she doesn't mention his name.
She keeps it vague.
She keeps it very vague.
Okay.
And then her mother, bless her heart,
Yeah.
jumps to all these conclusions about Patch being some, great guy who's in academic clubs and on the swim team.
Right.
And Nora doesn't correct her.
Oh, she just lets her think that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then Nora's mom leaves for work,
Mm-hmm.
and Nora has an hour alone,
Okay.
and she tries to do her homework, but she can't stop thinking about Patch.
Yeah.
But she's reluctant to go find him
Right.
because their relationship is so messed up.
Yeah.
But then she goes up to her bedroom, and it's been ransacked.
Oh, no.
And she sees the ski mask guy at her window.
The ski mask guy is in her house.
In her house.
That's so scary.
I know.
Yeah.
And then he runs away, and she calls 911.
Yeah.
So the police come,
Okay.
and afterward, V makes this weird comment about Jules disappearing, maybe because he has IBS.
IBS.
You know.
Like what?
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nora, meanwhile, is trying to figure out how Jules could visit Elliot at Coldwater Prep
Right.
when it's so far away.
Yeah, that is weird.
And she's like, I'm missing something.
Right.
So this leads her to think that maybe Elliot killed Kirsten
Oh.
to keep her quiet.
Okay.
And V's like, no, that's a witch hunt.
No way.
There's no way.
Elliot wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
Elliot would never do that.
Right.
But then Nora remembers that Detective Basso asked her if anything was missing after the
Right.
break-in.
Yeah.
And she realizes that the article about Elliot is gone.
The article is missing.
Missing.
Oh, wow.
So she comes to the conclusion that Elliot broke in and took the article. Right, and to scare her.
Oh, wow. So it was Elliot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then in biology class, Nora pretends to faint.
Oh, yeah. She's trying to get out of dissection.
Yeah, she does not want to dissect anything.
Right.
But Coach is skeptical,
Yeah.
as he should be.
Right.
And V tries to help by, being overly dramatic.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really work
Yeah.
because Coach ends up assigning Patch to be Nora's partner
Oh, no.
for the lab.
More forced proximity.
I know.
Okay.
So then Patch is sitting next to Nora,
Uh-huh.
giving her his usual intense stare.
Right.
And he brings up her shark shoes from the previous night.
Oh.
So
Like
you
the mom
remember.
remembers.
Yeah.
A little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he makes this suggestive comment about who she was with instead of doing her homework.
Oh, wow.
And then Nora's trying to focus on the lab, but Patch is, making it difficult.
Yeah.
And he says he doesn't have a heart,
Right.
and they have to take each other's pulses
Yeah.
for the lab.
Uh-huh.
And when they touch, Nora's pulse goes up,
Mm-hmm.
and Patch notices.
Right.
And he makes a comment about it.
Yeah.
And Nora's like, whatever.
Right.
And then she just comes out and asks him,
Yeah.
what do you want?
What do you want?
And he just smiles.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
I know he doesn't give her a straight answer.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then Nora goes to meet with the school psychologist.
The new school psychologist, Miss Green,
Right.
who's actually Dabria.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. So Miss Green is very understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and she says she won't talk about Nora's dad unless Nora brings him up.
Okay.
But then she gets all disapproving when she finds out that Nora's been spending time with Patch.
Oh,
So
that's weird.
it's weird, right?
Yeah, what's her
It's like,
problem?
why do you care?
Yeah.
And then later, V notices that that Nora's preoccupied.
Yeah.
And Nora says that she wants a home alarm system,
Yeah.
after Elliot broke in.
And V's like, yeah, you're focusing too much on Elliot.
Right. So,
She doesn't think he's a threat.
yeah, she doesn't think he's a threat.
Okay.
And then when they're going to the library,
Mm-hmm.
V makes up all these excuses why she can't go.
Okay, so she's avoiding the library.
Yeah, she does not want to go.
No, that's suspicious.
It is suspicious.
Yeah.
So then at the library,
Yeah.
Nora runs into Marcy Millar,
Marcy Miller.
who's just awful as usual.
Yeah.
And then to avoid Marcy, Nora decides to take the underground tunnel.
Oh, no, the tunnel
Yeah.
where her dad was murdered.
I know.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and then guess who she runs into? Patch.
Patch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
In the tunnel.
Of course.
And she feels
Yeah.
very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And she keeps trying to put a car between the two of them.
Right.
She wants to keep her distance.
Yeah.
And then she demands some answers.
Okay.
She's like, how did you know I'd be at the library? Right. Host speaker.